Hello everyone and welcome to the Victory Forge. In this video I'm going to be using my FlashForge Inventor 3D printer and some Hatchbox PLA filament to make some graveyard terrain and the Headless Horseman. That's right, half horse, half man, zero head. So let's get going. I found all of the files I will be using in this diorama on Thingiverse and will link them in the description below. I was very pleased with how the centaur came out and especially the impressive detail on the axe. I also decided that I wanted to print a few sections of this modular gate and wall that I found that has half brick on the bottom and some wrought iron fence on the top, and it also has a gate. And then a variety of headstones to help fill out the rest of my graveyard scene. After printing, I removed all of the supports and tried to clean up the models just a bit before I took them outside for a coat of primer. After finishing the detail painting on Gary, it was now time to start working on the graveyard scene that he would eventually live in. I started by cutting some scrap plywood to approximately the size I was looking for, not too big but not too small either. Then, using some hot glue, I glued the foam to my base, marked out where everything had a good flow to it, and then came back and did some shaping of the foam with a variety of cutting and some filing. With the topography of the graveyard roughed into my foam, now I could move on to using some Mod Podge, sand, some tiny rocks, and brown and black paint to actually give the graveyard its 6 feet of soil. Next, I moved on to finishing the details on the headstones and the wall with some weathering and then deciding where I wanted to place them. I wanted my headstones to look like they were pretty haphazard. Some weathered away almost completely, some piled right on top of each other, or even a few falling over the sides of the terrain to give the whole scene a neglected and forgotten feeling. With the structures and terrain securely in place, now I could move on to working on the landscaping. I started by adding some medium green flock in some random locations on the ground and a few smaller strategically placed in the cracks along the brick wall. Next, I got to use one of my favorite tools of all time, the static grass applicator. After applying some Mod Podge, I sprinkled on my static grass, which was a combination of short green and brown grass. After the static grass had a chance to dry, I came back for some final detailing, including highlights and lowlights on my path and in the open grave, some tall weeds, autumn leaves, and different kinds of detritus, as well as going around and painting the edge of my base black. And with all of that done, it's now time for the final results. Hopefully you won't lose your head over it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed both making it and getting to play with it as I was filming the video. If you liked this, please feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, or even check out one of my other videos, and we'll see you next time here on The Victory Forge.